We'll take two.
Oh no, it's take one. Holly, how are you today, sir?
I
I
am
hope you're
quite well.
happy.
I am quite well, and you, sir.
Oh yeah, a little skittish now, a little jumpy, but that might just
So-
be that might just be caffeine. That might be, heaven forbid, coming from Texas. I'm not gun shy, but
I feel like we have a filter on Zoom now.
well, check this out. I'm hoping. I mean, I would appreciate a filter more often on, let's just say, life, because that's what we're talking about today. Not life, but um, the encroachment of gambling into our sports, our beloved integrity-laden sports.
And you can even say it's not been full of integrity forever. I
Granted,
mean,
granted. I mean,
you
yeah,
know,
you got your moments, but now it seems like it's getting more and more. Well, here's what I'm talking about, because you and I just saw about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe the best World Series I've ever seen, and but certainly a great one. And as we're trying to like not so much bask in the replays and stuff like that of this and that happened, just some exciting. Just I'm getting the tingles now. It was a great series, but then right away, like it seemed like 1 week afterwards, like here come the scandals about uh, gambling, and it's all because of this son of a. I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell everybody. If you got kids listening, bad swears are coming up in 5 seconds. Four, three, two. These son of a bitch and gambling sites.
it's it is horrible. And you know what? And really quickly, and I'm gonna talk about for about just a couple of seconds. Mitch and I used to gamble when we were young lads, and now and the one thing I hate is a friggin' cheat. I hate a friggin' cheat. It's like if I lose my money, and because the odds are against you anyway when you go into a casino or you go into anything and you gamble, it's not like they give the shit away. They're not going to build a mecca by giving money away.
Yeah,
But
you don't build a Las Vegas by giving money away.
Mitch and I were at the off track betting on the trotters, and the first time I saw a jockey reach up and slap his horse in an area that wasn't to get it to move faster, but to break stride, and it broke stride and disqualified it. And we had both bet a trifecta, and it was the long shot of the trifecta, and the horse was in the lead, and it was an obvious fix. It was an obvious fix, and I don't think that I ever bet the trotters ever again. And I just said, shit, man, you'd think that there's enough cheating anyway. I would think they would keep it a little on the QT, but just
Well, I
right
mean,
out in front of everybody.
and that's part of it though, because it's like, there's always money being made, and that's one of the things that kind of jumps out to me about this is these baseball players, and I'm talking about the Cleveland, whatever the damn name,
Oh,
Guardians,
Class A, what an idiot.
and Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. But here's the thing, like you and I talked about, these guys are already making a ton of money already. They've got contracts to play a game in the millions, right?
12 million Class A is
Yeah,
going to lose now because he'll never play baseball again.
and he and by doing what he did, by I don't know the details of it, but he was set to gain what, $7,000?
Yes, it was minuscule for what he did. And
7,000.
I mean, Ortiz makes less money. He's the other pitcher that was involved in it. He makes less money than obviously in Class A, and he made more money off this. My whole point, well, it's not my whole point, but another thing that I think that they need to investigate is they need to investigate the pitching coach, because where's the pitching coach when Class A was texting his friend or talking to his friend? You can't have a cell phone in the bullpen, and there's no place to hide. So if you're warming up, getting ready to go in, how are you going to reach out and tell your friend, I'm going in this inning or whatever, or I'm going in now, without a pitching coach seeing that you're on the phone? Even if you're not warming up, you're not supposed to have your cell phone in the bullpen.
There had to be some kind of agreement, some kind of signal or whatever. But the point is, it's like now, because now it just seems like, since we've been talking about it, incident after incident after incident keeps piling up. And it's just, we can't even enjoy sports anymore. It's like, when's the next gambling headline? Like when you and I were talking about this, the day after, the NFL sent a memo out on prop bets. Now, you want to explain what prop
Yeah.
bets are?
A prop bet or a proprietary bet is any bet that doesn't have to do with the outcome of the ball game. So with the final score of the ball game. So any part of the ball game except for the
Anything.
final. Yeah. So
A
it could be a
catch, a
pitch,
run, an incomplete
flip,
pass.
flipping the coin at the 50-yard line to see who.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything.
And
And there's
that's existed on the Super Bowl for a while. We know
yeah.
that, but now it's just like every damn game, almost every injury related props.
It's and the thing about prop bets too is that I don't even understand what the huge attraction is to these because when we used to bet using a bookie when we were younger, uh, we had a football sheet that you just picked. All you picked were game outcomes with a point spread, and you had like 10 or 12 games that you had to bet on, or you could bet on. Particularly, they had so many. The odds were so such and such for 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. When you look at the odds that they're giving for things that are not impossible to do, it's a sucker bet, and then it doesn't happen, and it's like they're giving horrible odds to people, and it's just oh my god, it's making the game is going to be nothing. What are you going to believe? Because in baseball now, just particularly, everybody could screw it up. Everybody could do their own thing.
Yeah, and somebody innocent, like you saw the incredible play in left field by Andy Pajes when he jumped into his own player to catch the ball.
Did you know that Pajes ruined their deal? Pajes ruined one of the. Oh, is that what you're
Yeah,
coming with?
well, I was going to go there, but go ahead.
No, he swung at a crappy pitch
Yeah,
and ruined their scam on one pitch.
that's why because I heard about it. Like that's one of the things that kind of triggered me. Like for this segment is like I was watching Dodger highlights because I've been a Dodger fan for 55 years when they did drafted me in Little League, and I'm doing the air quotes drafted. It wasn't the official damn team. It was the Marseilles, Illinois, born blasting Dodgers that drafted me because my brother was already on the team. But I digress. But it's not a tough road to hoe being a Dodger fan. But I was watching that and they brought it up. They're like, and this, what was Andy's involvement in the gambling? I'm like, no, please, no. But it was an innocent, like you say, he screwed it up.
It's and I'm telling you, if I was these guys screwed up bad and got caught because they're idiots. And here's a plus and a minus because I just heard Jed Hoyer say it's going to be around forever. My kids are going to see this forever. We have to have partnerships with these gambling companies because they're the ones that caught them. They did. They're the ones that caught them cheating, and they're the ones that alerted them to the FBI. And I'm like, you know what? You're only partially telling the truth because
Yes, exactly.
you're in with the gambling people because you're getting a cut. That's why you're in.
We all
Don't
know that.
don't sit there and play Mr. Morality here. Baseball's a game of cheating. There's been cheating going on in
Well,
baseball forever.
there have been instances of cheating, yes.
I mean, the
And
only reason that Pete Rose got caught because his bookie dropped a dime on him.
I live in Texas, don't forget. I mean, I love the way they still boo the Astros. But but it's all going to come down to, like you say, it's the game versus the money. Because I like to think of, and it's probably a bit too innocently, that sports were built on skill, on the legacy of the teams, and honestly, the honor of the game. What was it in Field of Dreams when he gave that speech? Is like, times come and go, cities rise and fall,
Yeah,
but one constant will always be baseball,
yeah.
and that's just one. So now it's like the question is, are we fans of the game, or is it going to trickle over to where just we're speculators on the game?
It's bad enough now that it's with we have um the little strike zone thing. So you argue the strike zones here.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
any close player going to go what? What?
Well, because
You know,
integrity isn't compatible with micro betting with the props.
okay, let's look at this. You don't think for a second that if, say, Yamamoto next year, just innocently, because and Yamamoto is just like any other pitcher. They throw hard. Sometimes they lose control. If Yamamoto walks out to the back of the mound, kicks his feet on the spike cleaner,
Yeah,
comes up and
yeah.
hits the next batter, you don't think they're going to have an investigation into him? Because they're going to go that cleaning off your shoes was a signal,
That was a
and the
sign.
next
Yeah.
pitch was a drill, and they're gonna and they're gonna do an investigation on them.
And
I
that's
mean,
one
it's gonna
thing
be
also.
like looking for commies.
I mean, let's go back into the integrity of this World Series though. Wasn't that fun when I can't remember who the batter was for the because myself and my son were watching it, but the batter for the Blue Jays, is it Toronto Blue Jays? But
Yes.
he was uh, he was sticking his right hand up. It had a guard on it. You could tell he was
Yeah.
trying to get hit, and he kept getting a little chin music. He was like, "Hey!" And then like the next pitch, it clocked him, and they're like,
Well,
"What the?"
I don't even know why he was doing something like that. A good umpire is not going to call that a hit by pitch. You can't stick your hand
Can you
over a
see?
plate.
He had the damn guard on his wrist just in case. Did you
I
see
know.
that?
That reminds me of Riz, though. Remember Rizzo? And he'd never even wear an arm guard. He would just stand so close to the plate, and the ball would hit him, and he'd just look, and he'd grimace at him and drop his bat
He
and
got
walk on
popped. He
first.
got popped a lot.
Yeah, he has. I mean, it's got to be a perpetual bruise there.
Well, I think above and beyond this though is because it's like like you say, since we started talking about it, it's like when I'm driving around in a Jeep, and I know it's a lot of other people in Texas are driving Jeeps. It's probably just because of what I'm driving. But now since we started talking about it, I'm seeing more and more scandals pop up. You talked about the MLB. We talked about the NFL. The freaking NCAA is now because there's
Well, that's
former.
been forever. That's always
But
been a
also
question.
ESPN now, like they actually put out a memo to their big names. Some of their big names, like oh God, Stephen A. Smith was not named on it, believe it or not, but it was like Dan Orlovsky, we know him, Mina Kimes, Kendrick Perkins. They had
They
to end.
circled the bases back with Smith. They
Hey,
did.
nice one. Circle the bases.
Yeah, they did say he was part of it on the second pass through because they're influencers.
It's like when scandals become so proliferate, it's just the trust is just falling away. It is for me. I don't know about you.
I mean, to me, if you're going to cheat in baseball and you cheat signs and you're given signs and whatever, that's part of the game. If you cheat, and it looks so innocent, it looks so innocent, a ball that just hits in the dirt, or but when does it become, but or it could, when does it become like a ball that goes between somebody's legs? We're just talking about one sport. We're talking about the integrity of the game of America. This is
Yeah,
America's game.
yeah. Say
You
it that
know,
way. America's game, baseball.
every other game can go straight to hell with their betting. Yeah, go ahead. But I will say this: I'm going to name a couple other ones because they're big players. I don't want baseball to be messed with. I'm also a big UFC fan. And now here's the thing with baseball is they caught these guys and they made little bets and what baseball is tried to do is limit the amount you can make on proprietary bets. And proprietary bets can no longer be used in a parlay for that. Or maybe, yeah, they can't because if they're going to limit the amount you can bet on them, then they couldn't be in a parlay because it would change the odds. Uh, you look at the UFC, and a lot of the UFC's fans, because they're loved all around the world, are very, very rich, very, very rich, and they do just like every other sport. They before the thing sets up, they have two people that do betting analysis and whatnot. In the past couple of months, I've seen fights end and the decisions go, and the announcers, because Dana White does not gag them, he lets them say whatever they want to say, and they're like, "Bullshit! This
Well,
is
Dana,
this is
Dana
wrong."
White's Dana White's the former owner, right? He's the founder, but he's
He's still a part owner. He still owns 10% after they bought it all, and because they want him to stay. There's only one Dana White in the world, and I think that this, yeah, he's a he's made a lot of money on this.
yeah, and God bless him. It's like it's he saw a well, it's like gambling. You see a niche and they're going to
But
fill it. Like this is Joe 12 pack. Now this is the niche that gamblers, these companies are going after. They're like, we want their money.
and so that makes it hurt even more because you're not talking about the whales that Dana brings to the table with all the big monies. Then you're talking about the people that might not be making their mortgage. And also another thing,
Absolutely.
and this brings in another topic that I was shocked. that you can generally fund a gambling app with a credit card.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I was trying to put that in the text without offending you that you were surprised. It's like, hell yeah, you can. We'll take
Well,
everything you got. We don't
well, I
care.
mean, I guess to a point you have a cash advance, and so that if that's what it's going to be, cash advance limits are very, very low now
It's
compared
not
to
it's
what they
not going to
used
be
to
a
be.
cash advance. They don't need to. It can be like it's just like you're buying something at Walmart. Like this went to whatever. I don't even know any of the gaming companies, but this went to Pony Express. There's a good name for one.
I will tell you this right now, and you can mark this episode down, Mitch. This will be a bigger catastrophe than the home loan crash. The doing
Ooh,
the interest only
boy,
loans.
the home loan crash was tough.
You're talking about billions and billions, but well, here's the thing: the homeowners crash, they could get the house. They have nothing
Yeah.
here. They have nothing here. This is billions and billions of dollars of plastic debt that who's going to end up paying for it? It's going to be
Well,
the
they're
consumer.
gonna take their house. Yeah, the consumer.
Well, no, a regular credit card's not unless you have it specifically stated on a. The very few credit cards are backed by what you own. You can Chapter 11. The only credit cards like a jewelry store credit card, something like that, if you bought had a loan directly through. Well, I mean, if you had a loan directly through a car manufacturer, they could do the repo on that. I mean, they could
Yeah,
pretty much.
I'm not sure the basis because I know credit lines are based on your debt versus your what you have your equity. But I think if you couple it, because I think the saddest part for me, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a massive financial concern, but that's you can dodge that bullet. But I think the kids growing up now, because you see, like we talked about on Sports Center, it's just common. It's like before you used to watch like the farm report. You could see the grain prices but now you see the gambling lines going across the
Yeah.
bottom of Sports Center. It's so the kids that are growing up, if they're watching Sports Center, they're going to see the gambling ads before they see the highlights of the game.
And that's what Jed was saying. That Jed Hoyer
Jed?
was saying. Jed Hoyer from the Cubs CEO said, my children will be exposed to this for their entire lives." He goes, "You can't. This is never going to end." He's like, and that's what pissed me off so much because they make it sound like their involvement with this is to keep the game clean. And I will say this to a certain extent, it's going to help keep the game clean because you cannot hide this type of thing from these gambling sites. Look how fast this happened. Look how fast they caught these guys on legitimate. They go, "Oh, anomaly," and they're like,
Yeah, well,
it was that quick. It was that
let
quick.
me ask you a question then, because I think what we're saying is the purity of like playing for the win can get diluted by playing for the line. But do you think that now moving forward that legacies of accomplishments like that you just mentioned, uh, Yoshi Yamamoto,
Hmm.
great, but now as he earns his legacy in the United States, do you think it's going to be can it be now rewritten to include not just what you've accomplished, but also whether or not you've had probes?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I think I'm still the kind of guy that says you're innocent until you're proven guilty. There's a lot of people that still have condemned Shohei Ohtani and said that there's no way that he wasn't involved in gambling when his interpreter got jail time. I mean, you're talking
That poor
about
guy.
Clase and Ortiz. No, they're not going to get it. They keep shoving this 65 years total jail time. They can get 65 total years in prison, but it's going to be cumulative, not consecutive. But
Still,
they're going to the hotel bar and small window. There's no
that's
doubt
so
about that.
incredible. They had the world. They had I'm playing a game. I get paid. Let's just say the agent gets 40%. So I'm making 8 million a year just for playing a game. And he's like, you know what? I'd like another 7 grand. I'm gonna do
It's
that.
it's sad. I remember way back in the day, and it was funny because it was different. But I remember when Jerome Walton and Dwight Smith finished 1 and 2 in the Rookie of the Year votings and major leagues when they were on the Cubs. They were they were doing they were taking every autograph show they could possibly do, and Dwight Smith he insisted that you pay him in cash, and he would bring a suitcase or a little attaché case, and they would just like shove like 25, 30 grand into that. And
E White. And thanks for, yeah, number one, that's like a 1980 reference. Is that, I didn't even know.
maybe no, 89, maybe 89 was when Jerome
Okay, I
came
should have
up.
said 80s. But, and I
80s,
also
yeah.
I want to thank you for not calling out my math when I said 40% of 12 was 8 or 4. So thanks for not calling that out.
Well, look, I've always considered Mitch Wonders to be an 80% accurate uh,
There you go.
show, and I think it's good. I think that that's above average. I really
Well,
do.
that's why we include references, so we're not held accountable.
And you know what? The references may be fake too because you're a lazy bastard. You're not going to look it up anyway.
Hey, luckily, when I do my editing with Chat GPT, I tell them to give me the reference, so I let him do it. But I think if you go back to the ESPN thing, I think we're not giving that enough magnitude because that's not a small thing with their ESPN talent being tied to questionable gaming. And in that case, it was they said that they had rigged, I think it was a solitaire game, believe it or not, but they had rigged bots to control the outcome of the games. So come on, you guys. If some poor
It's
bastard's playing solitaire online and you're cheating on him, but what the problem is though, when you get these guys, I mean, because we talked about Mike Tirico, you talk about Chris Berman, these guys were like legends for us and for me anyway.
yeah.
And ESPN, they were the storytellers. So when you get the storytellers now pushing betting platforms, it's follow the money. It's not it's no
And
longer
and
integrity.
they do it on every pre-show. They do it on Dodger pre-shows. They do it on the on marquee. They'll do the beginning. There's a couple of Cliff Floyd. Cliff Floyd hates it, and when they ask Cliff about who's going to
Is
do
he
this, he's
another
like,
Cub? Is he
I
another
don't.
Cub?
Well, he's everywhere. With Cliff Floyd's, he does play by play with a lot of people. They rotate stuff now. Have you ever noticed that? It's like if you listen to games, your announcers might not always be there every game. Ours aren't, and I don't think
No,
any teams is.
I can't think of the last game I listened to. I couldn't even watch full games of the World Series, especially the 18 inning game. An 18 inning game, and we
Oh
should.
God, my brother, my wife, and I went to see the Cubs play the Marlins, and it was like they played a 17 inning game around inning 14. First of all, Marlins Park, nowhere you want to be at midnight. Nowhere do you want to be there at midnight. You look around the neighborhood. Sorry, people that might be listening in that area. You look at the homes, and it looks like they were shooting the first 48 there. And I finally told my wife, and she didn't gripe about it. She didn't say, "Oh, you want to leave now?" I'm like, my ass can't take any more of this plastic seat. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go.
14
There's like
innings. Hell yeah.
15 innings. I go, I can't do this. I gotta go.
I don't think we ever stayed through 9. We because we wanted to beat the traffic out of Chicago.
They would have to
So
really be pounding the hell out of somebody to stay till 9.
I don't
You
know why
know.
Jose Cardinal popped into my mind when you said that. Okay, but back to from a pure no, money aside and joking aside, but from the integrity of the fans, like, do we want to be? I mean, I don't know that we have a choice. Do we want to be, entertainment rooted in integrity and shared history, or another what looks like a revenue stream that's basically just like computer manipulation? I
I'm
mean,
going to be called.
you can't have both values and integrity or this and that at the same. Something has to give.
I want to be. I'll take the old man position here and say I'm fine with betting as long as it's old school betting. Take away props. Take away in-game betting. What the hell? I mean,
But
you have a problem if you're trying to squeeze a bet in. And also, I think that all these prop bets to go on a parlay, it's when you look at the odds. Like I'm saying, when we had our dude, and I'm if you picked three or if you picked four football games, the odds were like 8-1, 10-1, or more than that. It may have been much higher than that. The odds on these props are just horrible, and these personalities are influencing people to bet on these, and they never
yeah,
go. They can't say, "Oh, it pays 5-1." They all go, "If you bet $100, you'll win $500." Why? Why does it have to be an example using $100? You could say 10 and win 100. You could say
Or
one and
one and
win
win
five.
five.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could just say it's 5-1 odds. But they can't do it that way because they want you to throw a big bone into it. And I mean, I don't know. I didn't take keep score the entire year with the Cubs, but they were rarely right on their picks before the game when they make their pregame picks. Barely right on their prop bets, and they
Well,
only
that's like
pick three things on their
that's like
props.
you say when you don't build Las Vegas over people bettors winning. You
Yeah,
build over the house winning.
it's like, and how much money are we talking here, and where is it all going?
Oh,
And
it's ridiculous.
were you not surprised to hear that organized crime was involved with this? And they named names of old school families that I thought were gone.
Well, they're going to see, it's because it's going to be, like you say, that the leagues have to choose integrity over gambling revenue, and you'll never have them choose integrity over revenue because it's just like, we talked about many times on many episodes, like you see people like, celebrities have to launch alcohol brands or they have to sell credit cards. Like, why? You've got hundreds of millions. You get $20 million a movie. You need more money?
But the alcohol's an easy one, dude. I mean, the
Well,
alcohol,
it
the
is
alcohol,
granted,
yeah,
but the point is, what's enough?
yeah. I mean, it's obviously well enough. Enough is not 12 million, obviously
Because
for Class A, and
well,
it was more than that because he's going to lose a contract that still had time left on it. I think it could be close to 50 million that he's going to because he's never going to play baseball again.
Well,
No,
we did an episode on baseball earlier in the year. I think it might have been as long ago as episode 126. I could be wrong, but whether or not, baseball can survive the new contract negotiations coming up in 2026. But I think that baseball needs to understand, can it survive this? Because most of all, because fans want to celebrate great games, like we just talked about, great World Series.
absolutely.
But instead, we're sorting through, like we're wasting time now, talking about scandals, prop bet warnings, media tie-ins. It's going to stop, the game's going to stop feeling honest for you and they're going to lose a you and we're strong sports fans.
I mean, that's one of the reasons I can't stand watching NBA. Won't watch NBA. One of the two reasons they don't play defense anymore. It's not the same
It's
game
not.
that
It's
Jordan
not.
played. It's
Thank you.
and all these bets and all the prop bets because these guys here. I mean,
It
oh,
breaks my heart because that's why we did a Jordan episode, I think just two ago. I think the Jordan episode is 171 to not only talk about what Mike did that was so different, but how the game has changed since then. Because even like when like you and I were like, we were kind of dismayed when the Bulls signed Dennis Rodman. I'm like, what?
yeah,
Our hated enemy. But then he came Dennis the Menace. And that's when he had I just saw recently on Instagram because I looked up information on Jordan, so I get fed all these videos about the game. But when Rodman used to fight with Sean Kemp, and they were just like brawl, you like straight up
yeah.
brawl, blood, throw people into the stands. The game's different, like you say. It's just,
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Bulls game in a long time, like you say.
Cool thing that we tie that in though, because there's still a certain amount of people that believe the conspiracy theory that Jordan didn't retire at all, that Stern suspended him for a year for gambling. And that's when he went. And what people don't realize, if there wasn't a lockout in baseball, Jordan would have probably not come back to basketball. You'd have probably played for the White Sox. He was getting good enough that he would have made the
Yeah.
team.
He's such a
And
talent. I mean,
yeah,
because but you realize he hasn't even, he stated himself, he hasn't even picked up a basketball in 2 years.
I think it gets to be to the point where it's just not any fun anymore. And plus, he's older too. I mean, even these guys that stay in shape and stuff like that, their bones and the wear and tear. Look, I feel every bit of the beer league softball we played in, every bit of it. You know, I
Mm.
I still feel it. You'll remember the night. You'll remember the night because I healed my face with Dr. McGillicuddy's. Split my lip. Remember, I split my lip. You got kicked out of the game and I had to play second base, and I
Shh.
bought one right in the mush.
Well, that was fun though, because I mean, I admit freely, you don't talk to an umpire like I talk to an umpire.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
I know, good Freddie Kraus, was it? Freddie what?
Uh, no, of course, I'm. drawing a
See,
blank.
that says something about it though.
Reeve. It's
Right?
Reeve.
We're on a first name basis with Fred,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's
And it
I
might
like what
not
I
even have been his name. We were on a one name basis with Fred. Maybe not even his name. No.
yeah, he probably just let it get away with it. It was just to shut us up. But still, I mean, I guess that's a way of saying that I don't know if it's ever going to harken back to the good old days of that type of sport or the brawls we saw in base. Everything's been changing and changing, but this just seems icky. This
I don't
whole
mind.
sports
Look, I don't mind
gambling.
the baseball's changing because baseball's changed throughout history, and that's why when we look at people in the Hall of Fame and you look at their stats and stuff like that, and some people go, "Oh, that person's not as good as this person because look at their batting average, look at this batting average." There's more to look at now than what there was before. Some people are in the Hall of Fame that probably don't even belong there. Some people that aren't in the Hall of Fame have numbers to support that they should be. uh, the games, but they have to be measured to the era that they played in. The era that we're going in now, I don't even know what that era is. You're never going to see when's you're seeing right now maybe the last two guys that'll ever play for one team.
Who's
I don't
that?
think Jose Ramirez will ever be traded from the Indians. He'll retire from the Indians. We just saw Kershaw retire from the Dodgers. He'll never play for another team. And I don't think Mike Trout will allow the Angels to trade him. He already denied him a couple of times. He said, "No, I'm honoring my contract, and you are too."
Who just said
So
that the other day? They just spent 17 years and retired. Kirsch was only 13, I think. What? No, he was 17, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, he just was hurt for he just played parts of years because he was hurt, but.
See,
But
but even
even
that
even
was
being
great.
hurt, even being hurt, yeah. I mean, look at playing. He comes back and he plays half a year with the dad bod, and
I know, and he's proud of it too. He's up
well,
there
but
showing it
that's
off.
that's my point. My whole point has always been the reason there's so many injuries to pitchers is because they don't carry belly weight and they don't look like they did back when Wilbur Wood played. Wilbur Wood pitched both games of a doubleheader. I mean, come on, man. Pitch 180 pitches or
See,
something.
this is what they're gonna. What's going to
You
happen. I'm telling you, because
know,
now you're not going to have because you're talking about somebody from the 70s and nobody else knows what you're talking about except me and you. But because Wilbur Wood was a pitcher, I believe, on the White Sox, big
correct. The
fat pig.
knuckleballer.
But that's one of the reasons why you could. But anyway,
Here's the difference between baseball now and baseball then. Uh, Fergie Jenkins threw 267 complete games.
another
Uh,
Cub by anyway. So
yeah.
it's in case you're
Well, I mean,
wondering.
but it's the ones that I know. I mean, there's other ones. Bob Gibson's threw a ton of complete games too. 267 complete games. I don't know how many complete games were thrown in the major leagues this year. I don't think there were 26. So it would take at least 15, 18 years to do what Fergie did in his career by the entire baseball league because nobody
But
pitches and it's so incredible that the Dodgers have a pitcher that did it twice in the playoffs.
and we I wonder how many people lost how much money on that. That's what see now it's coming to
Yeah.
that. I'm wondering
No.
who lost their house because nobody saw a complete game coming.
Well, can you imagine what the prop would be that he pitched 9 innings and then what the prop would be that he pitched 9 innings 2 games in a row? I'm
Or
you
the
know,
ninth inning, or just the ninth
yeah,
inning, because to
yeah,
make
just to
more
get
money, make the odds greater.
I bet you
See now,
I'm sure there's a prop for over and under 100 pitches.
I wonder if there's a prop for a podcast pissing and moaning about this. Because
Well, you know what? I think people need to piss and moan about it until people start listening to it because this has changed the game in such a short time. I will say that the landscape of the game has changed faster with the introduction of gambling than the landscape of our country did with COVID. This happened faster than COVID. I mean,
oh boy,
when you look at it, baseball comes back. We're talking, when did they really start pushing gambling? Like 22?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know,
Because,
but that to keep making a baseball tie-in, that's a pretty big swing you just took there. So I'm not sure if it. I
well,
can't.
no, I
But
mean, I'm just saying that the state of how things are in life, COVID changed the way how some things are in life. But the betting has changed forever a game that it'll never go back to the way it was. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. I mean, I don't see how you are. The only thing that they can do, and I implore them to stop in game bets. Once the game starts, betting stops. Because that means that you can still do your prop bets, but you have to do a prop bet before the game starts, and then I don't think you're not as worried. Everybody knows. The
They can't though.
gamblers.
They have to though because the odds change during the game. So it's there's more money to be made. It's just you know it. I know it.
I know. It's just. I think that it ruins everything. I think it ruins everything. I think
Well,
that every man has his price. Every
maybe
man
that'll be
has his
the
price.
that'll be the name. That's the whole name of the episode right there. It ruins everything, but every man has his price.
It's a lot of these guys that are doing this. It harkens back to the days of the steroids. A lot of people took steroids not to set records. A lot of people took steroids to keep their bodies toughened up just to play baseball and get a check because they
Okay,
didn't make that much money.
I can't keep up with your tangents because we got COVID, we got steroids, we got gambling, we got.
But I can tie it all back in together.
What about the economy? Like, give me the price of eggs. Work that in there too.
Oh, dude, they're really dropping like a rock. I'm telling you, I just went to
Oh, you
Sam's.
don't
I
don't
went
drop an
to
egg, Jan.
Sam's yesterday,
I
got
don't care about the
two
price of eggs. I
dozen
was
for
just joking.
two dozen for 3.96.
Holly, thanks for taking time. I don't want to cut you off, but I'm afraid of where you'll go next. Thanks for taking time today. And if everybody's listened to this long, again, we appreciate the time. He's getting out there.
Oh,
Mitch is pretty much an establishment now.
you want to know a true bet? Here's my pick of the day that you can't go wrong. Go over to the company store and take a look at what Mitch has. He's got some beautiful
Attaboy.
shirts, great swag over there. You
I
will
promise
love the Mitch Wonders shirts.
there
Pick
there are
up.
some new swag in there too, by the way. And I promised Kellen, everybody knows by now that he's a retired MARSOC Marine, that I would stop calling this out, but I think it's important. There is one shirt in the Mitch stores. It's shown on there already that the purchase of that shirt, every penny goes to support the National Veterans Foundation. So if you want to pick that one, we would appreciate it. And trust me, every penny will go that way.
And the rest of them, every penny goes to support Tim's bourbon habit.
Or Mitch, one of
No, it's your friend Tim,
I mean that like that stuff back there, you mean?
the Marlboro guy.
All that stuff? Hey, there's a
This is
tequila in there too.
how long has it been? How long has it been? I've been pretty good with this. It's easy with you because you've always called me Holly. So you've called me Holly for like what? How many years am I?
Hell,
You
I don't know. How
started
old are we?
in high school. You started calling me this. No, I mean, so we're 48 now.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So it's been 42 years probably. So that's fun because I can say this stuff now. Like I just said, I've been a Dodger fan for 55 years.
You know what this is, and we're having fun, and this is fun, but this is also this is our third or fourth episode on this, and folks, it is a cautionary tale. This is a
Yep.
real cautionary tale that there are some there's some real big poo poo that's going to hit the fan. I guarantee you that Mitch and I will be back with another one that will be bigger than this. That there will be that will make what we just talked about seem like nothing.
The "We Told You
And
So" episode. But really, watch yourself, watch your wallets, because it's an easy way to get carried away. Holly, thanks for spending time today. It's been fun.
as always, it's a pleasure.
Till next time, my friend.
Yeah.
Ah!